Hello and welcome to your plug into all things travel and lifestyle. I'm Louise Scoble and you're watching Trendz Travel. Today we are broadcasting from Sandton City's very own deluxe business hotel, the Maslow. The hotel itself was inspired by Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, truly making it a home away from home. And speaking of needs, we're here to fulfill the wanderlust in you, starting off in one of our new favorite places to visit, Hartbeespoort. Affectionately known as Harties, this little corner of the world has all you need for a great family day out.
Ditch the hikes and explore the beautiful mountains of Hartbeespoort this summer with the cable car. Harties Cableway lives up to its name by taking you on cable route that gives you a bird's eye view of this dreamy town. With a 360 view of the location, it is no surprise that this venue is always abuzz. From the cable car ride to walking the facilities, the experience just keeps getting better.
The people who come all the way this side, what are they coming here for? What are they looking for in terms of an experience?
Ling, I'll tell you what. I mean, look at this place. I mean, look at the view behind us. Look at the setup of the bar. I mean, the food that we actually offer, the taste is out of this world. I mean, you get fresh food made on top of the mountain. I mean, for me, it's just a wow factor. I mean, they come here for happiness, a moment of tranquility. It's all up here. It's all about fun. It's all about relaxed, a good vibe. And then as you proceed making your way up, we have got a Pizza Shack restaurant where it's more like a family-orientated kind of concept, and it's quite fun and vibey. A little bit of an ice creams and this and that, you know, for our kids as the, you know, the sugar rush.
For today, I have for you our special for the month. It's the Cableway Fiesta. So in it we have pepperoni, some green peppers, bacon in there, and we also have anchovies. And then here we have our bacon feta and avo that I'm just garnishing with some avo on top there. And then all our pizzas at the end gets garnished with a bit of rocket just to give it some freshness.
The thrill of being here is enjoying meals or drinks while you look at Hartbeespoort below. And if you still feel like going higher, this area is for you.
If you come as a family, think of it in this way. Start off at Pizza Shack, entertain your kids, you know, have them happy, feed them. And once you're done, come down here and enjoy this moment of tranquility. Enjoy the nice and fresh cocktail that we make up here.
Everything about this place is magnificent. Yes, especially the cableway. Like, yeah, when we come up here, the mountains, you see everything, and then like we are in the Table Mountain.
I came with my family, young family, you know, my beautiful wife and 4 kids, and it's as I'm saying, it's the second time now here, and I'm so impressed. I mean, we got here around 11, and we don't want to leave. And it's already passed over, what is it? It's about 4:30, and we don't want to leave.
At the end of the day, the sun rays colors the sky orange as it sets behind the mountains and ushers you down the cableway. From this point of view, the lights below are ways to welcome you back to the hustle and bustle as you go back home to share the memories of a perfect day out.
For the first time in its 62-year existence, the Miss SA pageant will be hosted in the mother city of Cape Town. In another first, the live show will also be screened online in adherence to COVID-19 protocol. But among the changes, we can still expect some old favorites, like the designer gowns that are custom-made for the stilettoed contenders every year. This year is no different, and Njabula goes behind the scenes with some of South Africa's top designers to get a sneak peek.
from hundreds of entries to a final top 10. The Miss South Africa 2020 finalists have been announced, and they will go stiletto to stiletto for the crown later this month. With every Miss South Africa pageant, designer gowns are what we all look forward to. And over the years, we have seen different celebrated designers dressing the contestants. This year, the Miss South Africa pageant has selected a younger South African fashion designers to dress the top 10 ladies. And those include Neville Masondo and Orapeleng Mututla, just to name a few.
Miss South Africa 2020, it's very interesting. I feel like they have a new cocktail of women, which is who come like with different aspects, from very strong and who stand for different views.
I was so excited. I was just beyond blown because, the exposure that we got from Miss South Africa after Zozibini won, it was quite international, and Miss South Africa is seen all over the world. So, the excitement was beyond explanatory.
Every year, designers are given a theme and a brief on the dresses, and this year is no different.
So the theme for this year was Rainbow Nation. So we were all assigned colors according to one of the colors from the rainbows, and we all had a theme and a brief as far as the colors concerned. But then it was up to us, the designer, just put it in your own kind of style.
It would be a miss if we didn't give you a sneak peek of what the dresses would look like on the night.
So this is more or less your Fudu Fatu. I feel like, she's very strong, she's bold, and she's very elegant. So we wanted to go with something very structural and architectural for her. But of course, just like bringing a bit of romance and something soft, just to kind of resonate within her beauty so that we don't move away from her natural attributes. So this is for Aphelele. I decided to go extremely different, where we mix a bit of luxury fabrics, which is your velvet with the turquoise blue and a bit of bling, so that she, to really show her energy and her sparkle and her spark that she has, and enthusiasm for life and for her career. So this is the kind of dress we went for her. A bit of sexy and a bit of elegant, just exactly how she is. Just really resonates with her personality and how strongly she stands for African women and independence.
The looks that I'm doing this time are very similar to the look that we have around here. So this is a dress from AFI, and contain the fact that the corset is our trademark, okay? So the look that we're gonna go for, it's gonna have a corset feel as well, but obviously it's gonna be an evening wear. So it's gonna be a long dress, but it's gonna have detail. So we're gonna have a lot of detail. We're gonna expect a lot of detail, a lot of craftsmanship, but the look that we're going for are very simple this time. I'm known for adding more is more as far as craftsmanship and detail is concerned. So this time I wanted to just, do looks that are 1920s kind of inspired, but, mixing the current trends that we have, but then, just sticking to my static of corsetry and, just detail. Now, the second dress that we're gonna have today, it's more sheer. It's not gonna have a corset, right? I'm known for my corsets most of the time, but now it's gonna be like a sheer fabric that blends in with your skin tone, because I'm also known for that. I like the fact that, when you walk on stage with such a dress, it looks like all these things are just growing out of your skin, this detail, because of it blends in with your skin tone so much. So Chantal's dress also has those elements, the sheer elements, covering the bust area. The detail is not going to be as hectic because the fabric is actually, we're going down the velvet fabrics and stuff like that. So this time we're not going to have your fully beaded fabric, but as far as the sheer, we're going to see lots of sheer on the dress, lots of sexiness, lots of body showing.
Miss South Africa 2020 will be crowned on the 24th of October 2020, and Cape Town will for the first time ever host the event.
Coming up after the break, we go to the warmer weather and salty air of St. Lucia in KZN. But before we do, why not use this time to give us a like and a follow on our social media platforms. That's at Trendz on SABC on either Instagram or on Twitter, or both. St. Lucia is a tiny town on the east coast of South Africa. The scenery around the town is lush tropical vegetation and wetlands, with beautiful beaches along the coastline. It is surrounded by absolutely gorgeous, peaceful panoramic landscapes that have been preserved and is a wildlife paradise. It is here and Kosi Bay that Zondi takes his time exploring.
Mkhuze is known for history and wildlife, but some of its plants tell good stories too. I'm told that this tree communicates with others when an animal is feasting on it. When the animal gets to the next tree, it won't be as scrumptious because it would have been told that the animal is coming.
Any medicinal person, they will tell you that Umhlabuyalingana is known of being a source of an in-depth knowledge of traditional medicine. So you will find a lot of trees are found here in Mkhuze. You will also find trees like acacias, Acacia negrescens umkaya, which is mainly browsed by giraffes.
We came on a rainy day for a game drive. When you are in Mkhuze, you're not advised to get out of the vehicle a lot of the time, but there are marked spots where you can get out of the vehicle, and hopefully you are not in danger of being charged by wild animals. And for those that are here and those that come here, you can see some of the best wild animals that Africa has to offer. The rainy day was a bad move. This is because animals either hide or have many spaces to drink water. But there are plenty of animals here.
You find different animals here: giraffe, wildebeest, zebra. We also have got the big five.
Mkhuze is now part of Ismangaliso. It used to be called Mkhuze Game Reserve. Nature conservation and the promotion of ecotourism are important to Ismangaliso.
Our mandate includes conservation and tourism development, as well as social development for communities living around the area. So we are about conservation, but we conserve so that we get people to come here, and those visitors then contribute to the programs that we have for us to carry on preserving what we have here for future generations.
When in Mkhuze, one can sleep at the only 4-star hotel in the area, Coast Mountain Inn.
We also have the safaris that we do in Mkhuze and Tutuwi. We got our boat cruises and our scenic drives and cultural drives as well.
An hour's drive down the N2 takes us to where Ismangaliso started. It's the town of St. Lucia, where one can see hippos in the middle of town and hear wild animals roar.
It's been recognized as Ismangaliso Wetland Park as one of the best in the world. In fact, the top 38 destination, must-see destination in the world. We got that accolade from UK, from Independent Travel Magazine. You can come and watch whales, you can also dive, you can watch birds, you can do horse riding.
The best way of seeing some of these animals is on a boat ride.
What's remarkable about this area are the number of hippos. On any one trip you'll see 150 to 200 hippo. Hippo are a very important part of the ecosystem. They produce a lot of nutrients in the lake, and that attracts crocodiles. There's all sorts of birds and other life associated with the hippo on the lake system.
I'm told that a lot of work happened in the post-apartheid dispensation to fix the environment.
All sorts of strange history things have happened in the past, and currently it's under very good management and growing the park for a healthier ecosystem. They've removed millions of pine trees. The lake system has been rehabilitated to a large extent, and it's encouraged greater numbers of animals, and the tourist has become a very, very popular tourist destination.
If you come to Ismangaliso in Mkhuze and St. Lucia, know that you will get a relaxed and serene experience.
There's a big lake on the side, and there's a lot of safaris and walking tours.
It's quite nice out here because nature is still preserved. I'm actually impressed.
It's been a great experience, especially for me, for the first time in Gibagwi wildlife experience.
But you must play your part in keeping things as clean as they are to preserve the environment.
We will be back with more of Trendz Travel right after this very short break. But in the meantime, we would like to know where the freedoms of Level 1 have taken you. We'd love to know what kind of adventures or travels you've been up to. So please do post and tag us on your pics and videos on Instagram and Twitter. That's at Trendz on SABC using the hashtag SABC News.
Paul Kruger was the president of the Northern Transvaal and moved into this opulent home in 1883. Lived here with his family for 16 years to 1902.
This is the kitchen. So this is where all the work of cooking and baking, etc. would be done. You can see a number of implements that is built on, which they would have preserved and kept for use. Above me is quite a few other implements they would have used. You can see there's even an iron, which they would have put coals in to iron clothes, which is also from that period. And I know today people are still using that kind of iron. It's steel.
The kitchen is fitted with the necessities from sausage makers, roasting pans, a beautiful stove, and because this was the president's house, a fridge.
So this is the fridge. It says Niagara, so I suspect it did come from America. Inside the top they put the ice, because hot air rises, cold air sinks. So this is the icebox part of the fridge. It's metal lined. And then they would have stored their goods, if I can just open this. So that would have been to store their meat or whatever they need, the butter, whatever they need to keep cold. Welcome to Tannie Gesina's pantry. These are all grinders, so it's for grinding meat. This is an apple corer, coffee pots, sugar bowls, etc. Coffee grinder. And then we have also all the glass jars are used for making preservatives. So they would have preserved a lot of their food. The ceramic jars are probably for holding liquids which could ferment. They would have had cork lids. Mealie meal bins, bread, and these are just different serving dishes and molds. This is the main bedroom. This would have been the main bed, and the mattress would have been made out of koya or coconut hair, coconut mattress, and goose feathers down. You can see also a wash basin, different items for washing, etc. There's a commode inside toilet because they had an outside toilet. So being the president, yeah, you had a little bit of luxury. What you're looking at in this part of the house is actually a remodeling of the room in which Kruger died. And this is more or less how it looks, and very much the furniture, the style, etc. of how it looked. So some people want to believe there's spirits with these objects, etc. And this is also the exact room his wife died in. So I have no problem standing here.
Tannie Gesina had her own seating area where she would entertain her guests while the president sat with the gentlemen in a different lounge. The ladies would sit in this room and have their tea. It is decorated in a more feminine style than the gentleman's lounge.
This is where Paul Kruger, as president, would have received his guests. On the wall is their emblem of the ZAR, South Afrikaanse Republic. And you'll see on the back of some of the chairs is actually also an emblem of the South Afrikaanse Republic. During the war, Paul Kruger had to have a secretary sleep here in the house so he could take messages because they were coming through to warn them of where the British were, and the generals were communicating with each other. So behind that screen is actually a daybed.
Outside of the house is the ZAR Hall, which was built in commemoration of Paul Kruger. Gifts, ornaments and statues made of him by different artists using different materials. The letters on the wall are from writers and ordinary people, saying what they thought of him and memories they had. The ox wagon was designed and carved by a lady named Helen van Wyk, and during the war was taken to London by Lord Milner and was later brought back to South Africa, and now it stands here.
In this case is Paul Kruger's saddle and his rifle, or what they call in Afrikaans a voorlaai, where they had to push in the gunpowder from the front. When he was 16, he was out and he was rhino hunting of all things. And the gun misfired. He put too much gunpowder in. He blew off the finger of his left hand, his thumb. And in this case, you'll see there's a knife and a cover. And he actually had to cut, he had to remove his thumb, what was remaining. And then he got his people to help him to kill a sheep, so he could put his hand in the sheep's stomach to preserve the rest of his hand. Different gifts that were given, not just to Paul Kruger, but also to the Boers during their fight, during the war. Many of them contained signatures, such as this box or trophy is from the Austrian Empire. And within it is hundreds of signatures from people of the Austrians. And on the front, you can actually see the coat of arms of the Orange Free State, which was led by President Steyn, and the ZAR, the Transvaal Republic, which was Paul Kruger, who was the president then.
The Boers were supported by the Russians also, and they too sent very ornate gifts and letters to the president. He used a train for his state visits and other personal journeys, running away from Cecil John Rhodes. He built his own railway that had a route all the way to Mozambique. This is the same train he used when he fled the country in 1902.
He had to leave South Africa because the British were winning the war and he was in extreme danger. Behind me is a portrait of Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands. She supplied a ship for him to get away. This is the ship. This is the Gelderland, which Paul Kruger travelled with his train to Maputo to catch. And it's an armoured ship. So there's a gun on the ship, so he could get away and start his reputation in Europe. And he started in the southern part of Europe, in France.
He died in Clarence, Switzerland. His body was then transported back to South Africa in a ship that docked in Cape Town. His remains were then taken to Pretoria, where he was laid to rest at Heroes Acres on December 16, 1904. President Kruger was fondly known as a stern but humorous man.
We've come to the end of this week's show, but if you tuned in late or missed any of our episodes, feel free to catch up on YouTube, where you can watch, rewind and repeat to your heart's content. Also, just a reminder that the risk of contracting the coronavirus has not been abolished, but in all your activities and travels, remember to continue to wear your mask, sanitize your hands and practice social distancing. Until next week, I'm Lucia Scoble saying stay safe and stay healthy.